For example, the 1.5 grid, we want to give you the point of what's beneficial behind that, but going way in depth, maybe not so much. 2 up, the same concept. So this workshop is to really kind of delve into that and give you guys the details. Now the point is that you guys feel like the company is good and is productive and you like the products, then you should trust it. Obviously, you want to make sure that you're getting paid the right amount. Once you trust the process, you just keep doing your job as marketers and you earn money.
Oh, stop it.
So we're gonna touch on these points. So there's the top 5 compensation plans in the MLM industry. So what are the top 5? We'll talk about those. We'll talk about the 1.5 grid. We'll also talk about the 2 up split, which is a new addition, a recent addition. And then the newest additions that we will be launching next month is the Fast Start bonus. Yes, that will be launched next month. Very excited about that. And that will absolutely boost your motivation to sell and to grow your team. And then we'll talk about the prizes. So both of the last 2 on the list will be launched next month. Who knows? Maybe you want a car. Yeah? You want a car? All right. So, what are the top 5 compensation plans out there? So, we had looked into data, and we had a few books really focused on compensation plans, and none of them really talked about what the top 5 compensation plans are. We had found some sources and kind of analyzed how they measured it, but I can really see the patterns and the trends throughout. And based on my own experience as well, I've been in network marketing for a very long time, 10 years, 10 plus years. So I've seen the trends, and it makes sense to me. Now, the most popular is what we call the big ticket networking marketing companies like Amway, Avon, those type of companies, the big ticket companies, typically use a binary plan. So basically you have 2 legs, and this is almost like a forced matrix. It's very similar. The difference is that typically this one requires a balance. The legs have got to balance in order to maximize your compensation. If your leg is not balanced and one leg is longer than the other, then you only earn money based on the weakest leg. And then the company takes the rest of the profit. So you really have to make sure that your legs are balanced. This seems to be a really popular one. And it's really good for certain companies, distributors. There's pros and cons to it all. But the one neat thing about this is that there's flexibility in the placement. So typically a distributor can move your downline people around and adjust it. So a binary plan can typically do that. Number 2, second most popular would be the pass up plan. This is where your first sale, the first sale that you make and that you get commission from, that will go to somebody above you. You don't get any of your first sale, and sometimes maybe not even your second sale. That's called the pass-up plan. So I pass up my first sale to somebody above me, then my second sale will go to me, and so forth. So that's what the pass-up plan is. It was invented in Australia, and it's been around for quite a while. Empower Network, that's a company that is known for using this plan. Now, number 3, I think this is the one that I'm the least familiar with. I tried to analyze it and really get to understand it. But basically, you start up at a low percentage of income and compensation, and then you have to meet a certain amount of volume of sales and get yourself promoted up to the next rank. And the next rank that you move up, you'll have even more of a percentage of a profit, and you continue to build yourself up. So it's based on the volume of sales. And this is basically a staircase, step breakaway plan. Number 4 is the forced matrix compensation plan. This is almost like a binary, except you don't have to balance your legs on this aspect. You can, the shape of your matrix will vary based on each person. You'll still get the maximum amount of your income you can possibly get, though. And the one thing about this is you don't have control over placement of people. The computer system will basically place it. And I think most of it is what available spot is there. From left to right is how it gets filled in. So this is the forced matrix plan. The weakness about this plan, or the downside to this, is that it can lead to freeloaders. Now, freeloaders will hope that somebody above them will do all the work. And so there are some weaknesses to the concept of this plan. And then the more, in my opinion, of this matrix is the more narrow this matrix is, the better. The wider it is, I think the less teamwork that you have. If you only have about 2 legs, then you increase more teamwork. So this, you can actually have, there's a specific number of legs per front line. And then number 5 is called the unilevel compensation plan. There are no limitations on the width of your plan, and then there's no limitation on the depth of your plan. The one this is good for people, and this is awarded to people who work. They award nothing to people who don't work. So it only goes to people who actually do the work. So Gatosk has 2 hybrid compensation plans. Now, it's a hybrid of the pass-up plan. We kind of use a version of that, and we also use a version of the forced matrix plan. We have, however, modified it and made a lot of adjustments to it. So the 1.5 grid has been, it took me, probably a good 6 months to really think about and hash out and perfect and then patent the idea of the 1.5 grid. And then I started implementing it, and our 1.5 grid works beautifully. I mean, it works well. And there are some people that will argue that the 1.5 grid has it has one whole spot and then 2 half spots. And some people feel like the whole spot is better than 2 half spots. And then some people feel like 2 half spots are better than a whole spot. But over time, we've tested this out and we've really delved into it. And I can tell you that there's actually no difference between one or the other. You either have a whole spot or a half spot, and it's the same thing. With the whole spot, you've got one tree. With a half spot, you have two trees. And that's the only difference between the two, but the amount of earned income at the end is the same. So you're probably wondering why we have two different ones within one compensation plan. So the 1.5 grid is designed for long-term residual income. So in the very beginning, your income is very minimal. As your team starts to grow, you start leveraging each other, and then that's when it really booms. The nice thing about it is that the more depth that you have within your matrix of the 1.5 grid, the more security you have. And then we've got the 2-up split. The 2-up split is rewarding faster. So you get money kind of at the head end of it. We put out between 20% to 50% of the sale, the residual sale, or the retail sale. You'll get anywhere between 25 to 50% of that. So we've kind of attempted to hit both ends, which will meet everybody's need. So the 1.5 grid is patent pending. It's been more than a year now, and we have probably about 4 years left before it could really become a permanent patent. And it's good for the next 20 years. Well, pretty much we have about 19 years left for protection, and nobody else will be able to steal our idea.
Gatosk, the first e-commerce to sell print-on-demand merchandise through a direct selling channel, is introducing a new patent-pending compensation plan which greatly benefits distributors, graphic designers, and web shoppers. Many compensation plans by other companies employ 2 times and 3 times force matrices. Instead of 2 frontline positions seen in 2 times matrices, the 1.5 times grid has 1 whole and 1/2 position on each frontline. Let's say Mark signs up for Gatosk and refers Mike and David. Since David falls into a half position directly under Mark, David's second half position falls orderly below Mike. This 1.5 position on each frontline goes up for new incoming referrals too. When a sign-up is placed onto a half position, it gets split into 2 genealogies, each weighing half of the total commission below. More details about the 1.5 times grid can be found here. Register with us. It is free to lock in your 1.5 times grid spot. Change is good.
So I'm sure a lot of you guys have already seen this video before, so it's just nice to give you a little review. So this compensation plan has a lot of value within itself. The point is there's the products, but then there's a compensation plan behind that, and there's a lot of value from that. You can approach people, and they might be interested in making money, and then you can approach them with this compensation plan, and then there's people that are not interested in making money, and you can sell to them. So you can go one way or the other. To kind of summarize the point of this, the total capacity of the 1.5 grid is almost about 49,000, almost 50,000. That's the number of members will cap out at almost about 50,000. So that would be the capacity, which is a very large capacity. And if you think about it, maybe there's a customer who doesn't want to be part of the compensation plan. They'll still go through this. If a customer buys 1 t-shirt, a small percentage of that goes through this compensation plan. So you see a lot of the matrix-based companies out there, they separate direct sales commission and matrix commissions. They separate it, whereas ours is all lumped in together. A direct sales commission, part of that commission will automatically go to the matrix. Now, we've talked about the franchise. Say we became a franchise and we had kiosks in malls all over the U.S. There might be people who do a point of sale, so they purchase a t-shirt right there at the kiosk. Some of that money will automatically go up through the matrix, the 1.5 grid. And that's the really neat thing about this. The system pretty much has set in stone. It's solid as a rock. It's solid. And I would highly recommend using this. It definitely works, and it's just a beautiful system. So pretty much all of the sales will all go through this. And any future sales will still go through this. So this is one matrix. And a lot of people have asked me if there's more than one matrix. For example, the cycler. No, this is just one matrix. It's a forced matrix. Some people believe there should be a spillover, and it should be a guaranteed spillover. No, we don't guarantee that you have a spillover. You need to work with your sponsor or the people who are above you and work as a team. You work together to make sales, and then you'll see your results. Now, the 2-up split. This is newer. It's a newer compensation system that we've added on. And I can't take all the credit for this one at all. Some of the credit goes to Edom, Coast Rayback, and he is supposed to be here today. I don't know if he's still coming. Do you guys know? Tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Awesome. Okay, so you guys are going to meet him tomorrow. Now, this guy is an amazing guy. He can envision everything, and he convinced me that this is definitely the best pass-up system. The other pass-up systems, you usually pass up the whole sale and commission to somebody above you, whereas the 2-up split, every sale that you make, you get something out of that sale. You get maybe 20% or 25% on at least your first 2 sales. And that's actually rather high. And then the third sale you make, from there on out, you get up to 50, almost 50, it's like 45% or so commission. So that is awesome. And it has an unlimited coding. It's complicated. And I don't expect those who might be a little awkward with this system to understand it overnight. It takes time to understand it. And it took me a little while to make sense of it and be able to really track the coded commission and where it came from, understanding where it came from, where it's going, and so forth. If you guys really, really want to understand this and you want to duplicate this with your team, my recommendation is focus on the first 2 levels and understand where the profits are going with them. Once you understand that, then that's key. That's enough to really get yourselves to duplicate it. If you want to go more in depth, then that's amazing. I think that's great, and you'll get unlimited income.
New 2-up split.
Let me check. I'm checking time here. We've got 30 minutes. All right, good. Have you guys seen this video before? How many of you guys have seen this? No? It varies, so I'm going to go ahead and repeat this video, but I edited it. It's a 12-minute long video, so I've edited it down to just explain the 2-up split with sound so you'd be able to follow along visually and audibly. This really kind of gives you a little more of in-depth on the 2-up split.
new two-up split work? In the next couple of minutes, we will be delineating this new pass-up system so that you may better understand how it can change your life. Let us begin with your sponsor, who is introducing Gatosk to you. For the sake of simplicity, we are going to use the Pro 2-Up package subscription for all referrals in this example. You join Gatosk under your sponsor. You subscribe to the $105 a month Pro 2-Up package. You refer Ann to Gatosk. She subscribes to the Pro 2-Up package. Your first referral is always coded to you. All of the future second referrals under Ann are coded to you. The red asterisk denotes your coded referral. Third direct referral and subsequent referrals are coded to you too, like your first referral. The commission from your first referral with the 2-Up package subscription is split to you and your sponsor. In this example, you earn $25 a month with just one referral. $50 by Ann's monthly Pro 2-Up package is split to you and your sponsor. Suppose you then refer Bob to Gatosk. Although Bob as your second referral is not coded, you still get a share of $25 a month. The commission from your second referral with the 2-Up package subscription is split to you and the original salesperson above you. Remember, your first referral is split to you and your sponsor. Your second referral is a little different. The commission is instead split to you and to someone above you, known as the original salesperson. Your monthly income is now $50 with just 2 referrals. Suppose you refer John to Gatosk. He is your third referral. Your third referral and the rest of your direct referrals are coded to you. All of the future second referrals under John and under the rest of your direct referrals are coded to you. There is no splitting for your third referral and the rest of your direct referrals. That means you earn the full $50 a month by John. Your monthly income is all of a sudden now $100 with just 3 referrals. You literally break even with just 3 referrals since you pay $105 a month and you get $100 a month plus store credits with real cash value every month. There is no limit in the width of your front line in the 2-Up split tree. You earn $50 a month for every direct referral after your second referral. Do the math if you refer 10 people to Gatosk. Your first, third, and the rest of your direct referrals create what we call cash lines. That means all of the second referrals of the second referrals in the downline of these cash lines are coded to you forever. These cash lines render your 2-Up split unlimited in both width and depth. That means the 2-Up split has both profitability and security in terms of earning good money and earning residual income for years to come. With just 3 referrals, you already earn $100 a month. Now, let's see what the second level of referrals can earn you. Commissions by all of your direct referrals, first referrals, are split to you. That means Ann's, Bob's, and John's first referrals are split to you. Your income is now $175 every month. Follow the red asterisk all the way diagonally in your first and third referrals downline, also known as the cash lines. You will see that the diagonal cash lines continue all the way down infinitely. With just a few referrals by your team's efforts, your monthly income grows to $225. The second referrals of the second referrals in this example are coded to you too. You now earn $275 a month based on
We look like twins, me and the person on the screen. So the voiceover is actually done by lady who's here, Amanda. That's the voiceover that you might have heard. The one in the pink coat back there. The interpreters were able to follow along. The voice was on point. Great job back there then. So the voiceover, FYI, is not cheap, and it is a lot of work involved in that. So that's been a big challenge for me and my team, especially the deaf administrators, to be able to send a message across to the general public, not just deaf, but also global and international issues for people who are English speaking, and how do hearing English speaking people get their word across internationally as well. So translation is not something that's cheap, and that's something that we've been trying to kind of figure out how to eliminate that barrier. The cost is prohibitive, but thank you, Amanda, for your contribution and helping out with the voiceover. Now, fast start bonus. How does it work? You guys ready? So this is new, and I'm going to throw this out there. I think it's very, very exciting. And there's a lot of big ticket companies that have this type of incentive to really push people to grow their team fast. It's not a get rich quick scheme, but it's to help really promote team growth. And I like to call our team kind of a middle line ticket. We're not a big ticket, and even if we did get really, really big, I would still kind of call ourselves a middle of the line ticket. We're very, very affordable. It's $15 a month, and that's in between a small ticket and a big ticket. Big tickets can be $200 a month, but anyways, big ticket companies usually have this. And I used to be a representative for Ambit Energy. If you guys know, Ambit Energy had this type of fast start bonus. I would have to, when I recruited a distributor, not a consumer, a distributor, once I recruited a distributor, they have to pay $450, and then I'd have to encourage them to find and recruit 5 customers within 30 days.
Wow.
Now, if you achieved that, then I think I would get a $200 bonus for that. And that was their fast start bonus concept. So when I recruited a new distributor, we would really push and motivate them to find customers. And I think that's a great business model. So our fast start bonus, we had thrown around ideas, and please, if you guys have any questions, suspicions, feedback, or concerns, this is really a good time to talk about that. Because we're going to submit this through our web development team so that way they have a window of time. We have a window of time to make adjustments to it before it goes live. Now, our chief marketing officer, Joshua, is a little bit nervous about this. He admitted he felt like he wasn't sure if this was sustainable. I've gone through it, and my gut instinct says yes, it is absolutely sustainable, and we have control over it, because this is a month-to-month basis. We can turn it off or turn it on. If things are booming and our revenue is kind of a little low or something like that, we can turn it off or we can keep it on. So we have that capability to dial it back. So I believe it is completely sustainable. Now, Now, this is good for new members and new distributors who are joining. They can take advantage of the Fast Start bonus. Now, current distributors can still take advantage of the Fast Start bonus when you guys recruit new distributors. Because your job will then be to motivate your new team, and then you want your distributor to succeed. In order for them to succeed, you need to motivate them, and then you'll receive a bonus. So it'll start as you. Well, let's not say you, let's say a new distributor. That's the new distributor. Say April 1st, you get a new distributor that joins, that is that person. That person recruits 2 direct referrals, whether it's a customer or a distributor, either or. So they'll receive those 2, but not only that, then the original distributor needs to encourage their new customer or distributors to get 2 more people to get the service. So you need basically 6 new people within 30 days. So the new distributor will get a cash bonus, and then the sponsor will get a cash bonus. Now, what this person gets, the sponsor will get 10% of. So this PowerPoint will be made available to you either tonight or tomorrow via email. It'll be attached in a PDF, or I'm sorry, Dropbox. It'll be in a PDF format, so you can review it more in depth later. You have a question? So say there's, okay, that was a good question. She's a little bit ahead of me, so let me explain this. If your goal, of course, is to obviously get the $200, that's your big goal. Say you get 5 people, and you need just that one more person, but that 6th person decided not to get that package. Say instead they got the $35 a month package. That means that you will achieve the $35 amount, the $50. So it has to either be all 6 on the same level in order to achieve that level. So if 5 people get the $105 a month package and 1 person gets the $55 a month, that means you only get $100. Or all 5 get $105 a month and 1 gets the $15 a month, then you only get $25. Yeah, we're noticing that the lights are flickering. Can somebody try and push the lights back there? We're going to get in touch with tech support regarding the lights. They're flickering, which are stimulating people's eyes. So somebody's asking if you would take a loss. So if you got 5 of the $15 a month, and then one person got the $105 a month, then you wouldn't get the $200, you get the $25, correct? So whichever the lowest amount is, that's what you get. So it's almost like, you buy one, get one free. It has to be equal or of lesser value. So when you have your breakdown and everybody picks a different package, how does it work? And so he asked basically, if you have your pyramid and your downline, one person only gets a $15 a month. Could you then, in turn, search for a seventh person to replace that one person? So the answer is, I guess that seventh person would have to be on that weak leg, if that makes any sense. Okay, so here's the matrix. So each of them, the bottom three got 100, but the fourth wanted to go for something lesser.
You'd really have to go after that direct referral to make an additional sale. Does anybody have any questions about the fast bonus? I'm curious, do any of you guys think that this matrix system needs some tweaking? Do we have any feedback? Do you think we can make it better? Can I get a show of hands? What do you think? So some people are saying that it needs some improvement. Don't be afraid. You're not going to hurt my feelings, so tell me what you think. Let's see, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people, okay. How many people think, oh, it's great, and this type of system is really going to motivate a team? Okay. There are a few neutrals. All right, I just wanted to get a pulse of the room and get your input. And hopefully you can find some time to have a conversation with me or Josh at some point during this weekend. And, and he asked a really good question about how we can go about tweaking this and dialing it back. And let me go ahead and answer that. So let's say that we have a lot of people and we realize that we're doing a really good job with this fast start bonus, and it's sort of a good problem because I've got to pay out all these bonuses. I might say next month we're going to go ahead and dial back that amount. So instead of getting this amount, we might turn it down and drop it down to 100. And it would just be a monthly basis. So let's say April, let's find out what the bonus is going to be in April, and then in May it might be the same, it might be different, and we'll let you know. It just really ultimately depends on the amount of sales and how much we're paying out. Sometimes if we've just had so much money going out that we might have to just turn it off for the next month, and then people will have to get excited for the next month to be turned back on. And I think it'll just offer an incentive month to month. We've got a question in the back. And then, I'm sorry, what's your name? Marianne. So, do you mind repeating your question? She said, okay, so let's say right now I make some referrals and I use the FSB. Would I use this referral system, or do I have to? I'm going to repeat her question. So she asked me, let's say that I use this fast start bonus right here, and would I be able to use these benefits for my current referrals who are already in the pipeline? Can I get these benefits for the members who have already joined? And my answer would be yes. It would not benefit you, but it would benefit your current team, your current referrals. They would be able to get that fast start bonus. Or if you happen to get a new referral, then you'll get that direct benefit. But for those old referrals, you'll get the fast start bonus for the future. All right, so we have the sponsor here. And this could be an old or a current referral. Has to be a new referral. So let's say in April when we open, this would be a new member, a brand new member. The old member would be the sponsor here. So let's say you're up over here. You're not going to get anything, but your team is growing. And that's motivation. So people who are currently in the pipeline, they can leverage this benefit and they'll get that bonus amount. 10%, which is a good amount.
Signed, so this will start in April. A person who is considered a quote-unquote sponsor based off of this matrix would get anything currently. So you could wait and say, oh, let's start April 1st and really pull a bunch of people in. It really depends on how you look at it. And I'm sorry, Karina, I'm sorry. So I think that the idea of kind of dialing back or turning off and continuing on motivates people because there's advertisements of limited time only. So I think, oh, well, next month again. And then you envision, well, limited time only is every month. I look at it this way. So I look at limited time only, which means that I can top each person to be $100, and they're all under that bracket, and then I get $200. And then next month, you don't know if it's going to be even more, or if it's going to be less, or it's going to be turned off. So it really motivates people. And you have the 30 days, there's a 30-day window of, there's a possibility that next month it might be less of a bonus, or even turned off. So you think about that strategy, and so you feel like you have to be more motivated and hurry up on that. This is Raymond, absolutely. Danny, did you want to say something? No, okay. Now, the final but not the least, prizes. So this is another incentive within this. And this is all based on your feedback. I heard you guys, and you said you had talked about the rank advancement, and there was not a lot of incentive within that. There was really no attraction to that. So we decided to add the fast start bonus and the prizes, and hopefully that was something that would really appease you guys. Please give me more feedback if you have more. The prizes is an added incentive. So one person might be a regional consultant for 6 consecutive months. For that, they would win one Gatosk apparel item or $10 cash reward. So I say $10 cash reward, that applies to you guys, but it really applies to the international distributors. So it's really key is international, because the shipping for international shirts or apparel is very, very expensive. And also, the time frame could be 3 weeks or more to even arrive to an international location. Whereas when it's cash reward, our goal is Bitcoins. Cash in in US money or in Bitcoins. That's the goal. Now, a senior consultant that ranks for 6 consecutive months straight will receive an iPod Shuffle or an Amazon gift card that values at $50. Now, deaf people here will instantly say, well, this is autism. This is autist, which means that we're oppressing deaf people because the iPod Shuffle would not be beneficial to you guys. But I will say instantly, hey, you guys have a $50 Amazon gift card. You can buy almost anything on Amazon. And maybe in the future we'll change that to a Gatosk gift card. The executive consultant or higher will get what? This is for 6 consecutive months. You will win a car drone or a $100 cash reward. Now this is really cool because some people actually like to see a tangible product. They want to know that there's something that they can strive for. There's a product. But there's still more. Now, everybody loves an iPad, right? Somebody says, oh, I already have that. I have that already. Okay, well, that's fine. Now, if you sell $20,000 in 6 months, that means basically $20,000 worth of sales. For example, you can kind of do the math. So $25 per shirt, you divide it by 20,000 to get that however many number of shirts that you should have sold or need to sell. Even subscription packages are part of this. I'm sorry, what did you say? Yeah, shirts are average $25, so you can do the math. But it's not only by you, it's also you and your direct referrals sales efforts. So you said it was 800, you did the calculations back there? Okay, so 800 divided by 6. Okay, well now you're calculating that. So 133 shirts a month basically is what you need. That's not too bad. That's not bad at all. So 133 shirts a month, and then not only, it's not your downline, but it's only your front line. So it means your direct referrals. So their efforts, meaning that if you have 3 referrals, then you have 3 people to help motivate to have them sell, and not only them, but yourself as well. So that means there's 4 people to achieve this goal of 20,000 points. And then when you get to that 20,000 points, then you would get one of these prizes. So for example, say one of your direct referrals is just out of control on their selling. It's absolutely amazing. You only have that one referral, and they get 20,000 PV points. That means that you, well, not necessarily 20,000 a piece, but you could get a lot of points from that person because of their sales. I mean, it could be a one-person show, and 2 people could end up with an iPad Pro, in theory, or the $600 cash reward. The iPad Pro, by the way, is pretty big. It's not just a small little tablet. Oh, now here's this car we're talking about. A car. You would get a car. Now, I am absolutely promoting this car. I'm one of their promotional people, or promoters. So this is out in California, Irvine. All of the parts for this vehicle are made in North America, and this is a 2-seater car. You sit one in front of the other. It runs on 84 miles per gallon, and it only has an 8-gallon tank. And it could go almost 800 miles just on one tank of gas. 800 miles. Now this car, the front and the back seat can lay back, and you'd be able to even sleep in the car. It's more comfortable than probably your own current cars. You can kind of get the front seat down, and it's only so much, whereas this, you'd be able to flatten out and sleep very comfortably. Now they were supposed to launch this last year and they've delayed, much like Gatosk. They have delayed and they're supposed to launch, I believe, this fall. It is a really cool car. MLM companies will say, oh, you'll get a Benz or you'll get a BMW, maybe you'll even get a Lexus. Read the fine print. I'll tell you that you are responsible for the car's lease. So if you don't achieve a certain sales volume, then the company basically says, well, I'm hands off. Either they'll take the car back or it's hands off. Because that car is under your name. So if the company doesn't pay for your car, you then are responsible for paying for it. Or your car gets repoed. And then your car gets repoed and your credit score goes down. So that's something that I really want to figure out. I wanted to avoid the whole lease car aspect. Now the price tag for this vehicle is only $7,300. The value of this car you can purchase in America is $7,300. Brand new vehicle, no miles. Apparently, it's safer than a motorcycle, that's for sure. But it will also have the Gatosk logo on the car. There'll be a magnet put on both sides. You are 3 minutes past. So yes, you have to make the 200,000 points with it. Oh, I'm sorry, wait a minute. This one is not, there's no time limit on this. This doesn't have to be done within 6 months. There's no catch to this. You make 200,000 PV points, you get this car. Now, this is the Fast Start bonus and the prizes are effective starting next month of April. Now, the prizes, we're doing it manually. It's not an automatic thing at this point, so that means that we actually have to track people. So if you're achieving a certain amount, and if we maybe have overlooked it, then please let us know. The Fast Start bonuses, however, are automatic, and they will show in your dashboard. And now, I'm going to give everybody a 10-minute break. Grab some Starbucks coffee or tea, and then come back, and we will have a workshop on the online advertising. That would be by Joshua and Michael Lindsay.